Hello, Fat Guy Flies RC here, right here at the Avon Park field in Avon Park, Florida. And we're at the Avon Park, a lot of Avon Parks in there, Aero Modelers Association. Well, I snuck another one in on you. This is the E-Flite Carbon Cessna 150T. Same as the one I had before, just now it has the Tundra tires and turned it into a tail dragger. Wind is out of the northwest that way. I've already done my range test. Let's do a control surface test. Right, left, up, down, right, left. And just so you know,
take off flaps.
I went down to do my range test and I looked at her coming back and I said, well, what is hanging underneath my right wing? The clip that holds the control rod or push rod in place on the arm or the clevis of the control surface arm, it had just basically snapped in half. And whenever it snapped in half, I thought, well, my control arm was just hanging down to one side. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I just happened to have a little keeper, clevis keeper with me. So, right, left, up, down, right, left. Very little wind today. What wind we do have is, like I said, out of the northwest. So I don't have to look at the sun. So that's good. All right, here we go.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
This is the maiden flight of this big, beautiful plane.
Landing flaps.
She's set up by the book.
Flaps up.
There you go. Now we're going to show you a little bit of grass ops here. That's pretty good that I feel that confident with a plane to do that to do a roll on a maiden.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
All right, we're going to land this time with no flaps. Do a touch and go there. That's pretty good on a maiden. Do a touch and go like that.
Landing flaps.
All right, let's get over here. Boy, that color, that red and that white, boy, it does show up nice.
Flaps up.
There. A little bit of a knife edge there. And like I said, folks, this is the first time I have ever flown this plane.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
This is the first true maiden of this plane, and I'm feeling very, very comfortable with her. Running a Smart Pack
Landing flaps.
5000 milliamp 6S. She is a big 6S bird after all. All right, typical tail dragger.
Flaps on.
Typical tail dragger. Let's look at our smart stuff here. I have not set up the reverse thrust yet. Oh, I still got over 3/4 of a battery, so let's continue flying. Forgot another 101 minutes. No, still got a minute and 41 seconds on a 5-minute timer. First thing I'm going to do when I get home, on those little clevis keepers that they put on their little plastic like little arms, first thing I'm going to do is put some zip ties on there. There we go. All right. Here, I'll show you a little bit of grass tops there. All right, let's get her turned around and let's land with grass, on the grass.
Landing flaps.
Well, I like the flap mix, according to the book, is absolutely perfect.
Time remaining 1 minute.
Yeah, the flap mix for the book is perfect.
Flaps
Let's get her turned around here. Those big tires, boy, they sure make a big difference. They do. All right, we're going to take off with the wind, which you're not really supposed to do. Oh man, what a beautiful bird. But I didn't have any flaps in,
Landing flaps.
and she took off without flaps. We're going to do another landing here. Flaps are in. Just about maybe 8 throttle right now. There you go. Take our flaps up. Let's get her turned around.
30 seconds.
And let me share with you the flap mix. That's the same as in the manual. That's a good looking plane right there now. All right, the flap mix, you may not be able to see it. Motor off. Because you're just going to have to trust me on the flap, what I'm going to tell you. Okay, up elevator, or I'm sorry, up flaps, obviously 100%, nothing. Takeoff flaps are 0% on a spectrum with a 14% down elevator, and then landing flaps are negative 100% with 24% down elevator. So what we're going to do this time is we got 20 seconds. We're going to turn around and we're going to take off with just takeoff flaps only. Okay, and you know what, we'll do that in the grass. Everybody wants to see grass operations. All right, so because most people are even notice that's takeoff flaps. Okay, that's at 0 down on the spectrum.
8, 7,
Okay, I did however have to do
3, flaps up.
a little bit.
Time expired.
I did have to do a little bit of elevator. Okay, so I may have to
Landing flaps.
go in there and maybe do a little bit more, because the idea with takeoff flaps is you should be able to give her a good scale throttle and then be able to take off without any elevator input at all. It should lift off the ground nice and gradual for you, which is what you want. All right. All right, we're 15 seconds over our 5-minute timer. Okay. That's a good looking plane. Man, that's a good looking plane. Even in the sunlight, I can see those flaps up. Let's see how much battery life I have left now. I'm sorry it's so bright you probably can't see. Yeah, I'm just under half to half on the battery. So that works great. Okay, well, let's call that a flight. That's definitely a successful Maiden. What do you want to hear before you touch a plane?
Motor off.
Motor off. And to show you my placement on the 5000 is, if you look, maybe a half a finger length in, or half of a finger width back from the firewall of the plane there. That's where I got my 5000. And that's fine. Now, if you're hearing that whine, don't think, oh my gosh, they gave me bad servos. My Carbon Cub SS does the same thing. My last Cessna like that did the same thing. This one does the same thing. Over time, that chatter will get less and less and less. It's not the sign of a bad servo. It's just these flap servos, and that will go away. Don't let that fret. All right, folks, y'all have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Fat Guy Flies RC. That is the E-Flite Cessna Carbon Z Cessna 150T. T means stand for terrain, I guess. Y'all have a good one. Don't forget faith, family, friends, and then planes. Bye bye.